My name is William Martin. I was born in Great Britain in 1907. I have a fiancé, and I am a major in the British Royal Navy. I am responsible for changing the course of World War II. My mission was called Operation Mincemeat. My story is a true spy story, but I am a complete fake. My story starts in 1939, when Ian Fleming, a man from the British Naval Intelligence, came up with some clever ideas to trick the Nazis. One of his ideas sat in the file until 1943. By the way, Ian Fleming went on to write the James Bond Secret Agent series and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Although this plot was inspired by Fleming, the true mastermind who pulled this hoax off was Ewan Montague. In 1943, the Allies had just had a huge victory in North Africa and were itching to invade Sicily. This was the obvious choice. Unfortunately, it was obvious to the Germans. This is where Ian Fleming's plan was brought back out and Operation Mincemeat was born. It was to seem that I was delivering a secret plan for the British to attack Greece, but I met an untimely death before I could complete my mission. I was the dead body. My real name was Glenwar Michael. I was homeless, and I had committed suicide by eating rat poison. I was the perfect person for the job since dead men tell no tales. They kept me on dry ice in a large canister while they wrote my life story. When the story was finished, they dressed me, packed my pockets with specific items, and attached a briefcase to me and shipped me off. They dropped my body onto the water off the coast of Huelva, Spain. The British picked Huelva because the main guy there, he was a fascist, and he liked the Germans. I washed ashore and was found by a fisherman. The fisherman turned the body over to the Spanish authorities. Due to international law, a neutral country like Spain must return all documents and personal items found on any British soldier who dies on their land. The Spanish gave the documents to the British consulate, who was in on the hoax, but only after showing them to the Germans first. The Germans looked at the documents quickly, photographed them, and tried to trick the British into thinking no one had read them. In order to convince the Germans I was really a British messenger, everything found on my person had to be, or at least seem to be, authentic. Let me show you some of the clues the Germans were given to piece together my life story. In my wallet, here's a photograph of my fiancée. Her name was Pam. Isn't she beautiful? I also had a book of stamps, 2 love letters from Pam, and an Admiral ID card. In my pocket was some change, 2 love letters from my father, 2 letters from my father, a bill from G's for some shirts, a bill for an engagement ring, and a letter from Lloyd's Bank saying that my bank account was overdrawn. I also had 2 ticket stubs from the theater, dated a few days before I was found. My fiancée, Pam, was a combination of 2 women. The picture was of one woman, and then the letters written by another. Here's a sample of what she wrote. That lovely golden day we spent together. Oh, I know it has been said before, but only if time could stand still for just a minute. But that line of thought is just too pointless. Pull your socks up, Pam, and don't be a silly little fool. Isn't that romantic? Now, on to the briefcase. Since the British wanted the Germans to believe I was an important messenger, the briefcase was chained to me. It was attached to my belt, ran up through my shirt, and down my sleeve. So that, no matter what happened, I wouldn't lose the briefcase. If the Germans found a dead British guy, me, with a briefcase chained to him, they might be convinced that the dead guy, me, had an important message he was delivering, and might be curious as what the message was. The hope was they would be very curious. travel general hinted that the Allies were planning to attack 2 points in Greece and 1 in Sardinia. It was imperative that the Germans believed the Allies were not going to attack Sicily. The Germans studied everything to try to figure out if they were being fooled. They even sent a spy to London to make sure that I, William Martin, and every item on me was real. This German spy went everywhere, including the shop where my shirt was bought and a hotel I stayed in. The British had signed me into the hotel guest book just before the spy arrived. Everything checked out. It has been said that the Germans ate mincemeat up. This mission was so successful that Hitler moved over 90,000 troops to protect Greece, which allowed the Allies to successfully attack Sicily. Operation Mincemeat was a huge success. And by the way, a movie was made about my story. In 1956, it was called The Man Who Never Was. At the time the movie was made, my true identity was kept a secret. So how they found my body was made up. But most of it is true. I hope you enjoyed getting to know the fake me. Thank you.